You are having a great day. I'm so excited to introduce you to one of our great friends we've gotten to know for over the last 2 years. His name is Raj, and you will see him on my split screen. So we are trying this. We're practicing. I'm excited. This is one of my very first interviews, besides my husband, that you guys saw earlier this week. But Raj is known as the Keto Coach. And so Raj has been in this space for years and way more, or he'll hop back on in a minute. But before even we've been dabbling this for 2.5 years, my family and I have been. But Raj has helped thousands and thousands of people get into the ketogenic state or help them go through a plateau, help them try to figure out all of these different questions that we're going to ask. So Raj, welcome. Can you hear me?
Yeah, give me 1 second.
Oh, you're totally fine.
I'm good.
Well, we're just
I wanted to share this with my community too, so we can get everybody involved in this great conversation we're gonna have.
I love it. So I think the funnest thing is we're just gonna go back and forth. We're gonna ask questions, and we're just excited to learn from you because a lot of people hear from me all the time, but I'm not near the expert that you are, and I've learned a lot from you over the last couple of years. So we're excited just to ask you questions and have you teach us, because a lot of people are trying to eat this way. Like, the conversation isn't new, right? Like, you've been around this for a long time.
Yeah, 7 years.
Right. But I feel like the conversation is now just we're piquing people's interest to where they're like, what are ketones? Like, what is ketosis? Like, what is this? So I would love for you to introduce yourself, and then why don't you share with us just what the ketogenic diet even is, or what ketones are, or how our body produces them. Can you explain that?
Yeah, sure. So as you said, my name is Raj. I'm the keto coach from myketocoach.com. And I've been, hey Anthony, I've been in the business and in this whole teaching about ketogenic lifestyle and ketosis and ketones for 7 years now. In that time, I've helped over 4,000 people, and including my own personal journey. It all started out from a personal journey. I used to be 240 pounds. It's a 43-inch waist, pretty unhealthy, but I loved working out. So it was just about working out, but I wasn't getting the proper diet. And after I learned about the ketogenic diet, started working on it, optimizing it, and now here we are today. I'm 172 pounds. I'm at the 31-inch waist, much healthier, and I'm much older than I was before, but I feel younger than I used to be. Yeah. So it's been great. And so your question was about, so that's a bit about me, but about what is ketosis and what are ketones. Yeah. So the whole premise is basically when you deplete the carbs you're eating, or the sugar, which is like turns into glycogen. So what happens is, as you deplete it, your body needs another fuel source, because your body only has 2 fuel sources. It has carbs and sugar, and it has fat. As you deplete you start eating low carb or ketogenic diet, it starts getting low, and your body needs another fuel source. So it'll start breaking down fat, and it breaks down fat into a molecule called ketones. That's like the energy unit. Okay. And that's what your body uses to absorb, to use as energy, to power your day, to power your brain, many different things. And you'll notice if you talk to anybody that's in ketosis, that's following ketogenic diet, typically they're full of energy and they're bright-eyed and awake. And that's just because the brain loves ketones. It's a much more efficient absorption rate than glucose. And as well, that's why you feel really sharp and you're mentally sharp and super energetic, just because it's a clean energy, not like caffeine where there's a crash. Yeah. So, and when you talk about ketosis, that's when your body is using ketones as the primary fuel. Okay. So that would be keto adapted or in ketosis.
I love it. So a lot of people on the page are either currently eating this way, or new. Hey, if you can hear me on a back, maybe it's gone. Oh, good. Okay. So real quick, and I could hear myself in an echo and it sounded funny. So walk us through a couple things, because I know some people can get into ketosis very easily. And then there are more people, and I deal with a lot of people, specifically women, who struggle with getting into ketosis. So could you talk about like your macros, how you get there, and possibly what the keto flu might look like? Because sometimes people will try it for a week and they get super frustrated or get like, oh, I can't do this, and they get tired. So can you walk people through kind of the stages and what you have to do to achieve ketosis?
Sure. So it's a common question I get too, just like you do. And it's what I find is people overcomplicate something that's actually pretty simple. Like the ketogenic diet is simple.
Oh, we lost him. Oh, I think he's coming back. Hold on. So I promise this is, oh, we lost you for a second, but you're back.
Okay, sorry about that. I don't know what happened.
Okay.
So what you want to do is basically there's the main rule of the macros to follow, which is 80% fat, 15% protein, and 5% carbs. So those carbs will be coming from green sources like spinach, broccoli, the avocado, those type of things.
Yep.
But it's that macro breakdown that really helps you get into a ketogenic and ketosis state.
Okay. So what happens so if you're tracking your macros, I have a question. This is something that I just thought of. What about net carbs versus total carbs? Can you talk about that?
Yeah, so that one's a common one. I tell people when you start a ketogenic diet, just, go by the carbs alone. Okay. So if you read a package, it'll say in the carbs column, it'll say, example, 4 grams of carbs. So when you're talking about net carbs, if you look at the listing below that carb rating, it'll say a dietary fiber may be 2 carbs.
Yep.
So what you would do is you would subtract the dietary fiber from the total carb amount. So in my example, it would end up being 2 net carbs. Okay. Because you subtract the dietary fiber. Sorry. The reason why is because dietary fiber doesn't impact your blood sugar and your insulin. So that's why it doesn't count. Okay. Because it's all about that at the end of the day.
I love it. Everybody asks that, like, what do I do? And so that's perfect. I love that. So talk to me about the keto flu, because sometimes when you're trying to fat adapt and you're trying to get your body into ketosis, you might feel kind of angry or crabby or tired, right?
Yeah, it's true. And we're making a big change, a dietary change. We've been all this time flooding yourself with lots of carbs or maybe low carbs, but the idea is that you're making a change, so you're going to have to expect some kind of bodily reaction. Right. And typically that is called keto flu. And it feels like you do have the flu without having the flu virus, let's say. You feel headachy, you may feel achy. But what that is your body actually transitioning from being a carb burner to being a fat burner. Okay. It's not using glucose anymore, it's now using ketones. So that adaptation, your body will, feel that way, but as soon as it takes usually 3 days, some people it takes a week, everybody's different. But the end result will be you feel fantastic once you're in ketosis, right? And you're going to feel awesome that you'll never want to go back. And the longer you're in ketosis, the easier it is to get back into ketosis in case you slip out. So the goal is to stay in ketosis as long as you can.
I love that. So what about people who've done this for a while but are at a plateau? So I'll have people that go, man, I've done it for 6 months and now I'm stuck. I hear another echo.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but you talk us through like a plateau or a stall.
Yeah. So actually, if you guys, I'll drop this in the comments. But I wrote an ebook that's free on my site, and it's like the top 15 ways to break a keto stall, because this is one of the most popular questions I get. Yep. In emails I receive, people just blanket ask me. I've been on a stall for 2-3 weeks. I believe I'm doing everything right, but my weight loss is not coming down. I'm not losing inches either. So I'll give you a couple, but I'll drop the link in below, and then you guys can download the free ebook, and it has 15 different ways that you can beat a keto stall. But one of the most common ones I would say is dairy. So a lot of people abuse dairy, they abuse cheese as a fat source. So like they're eating tons of cheese all the time. And what happens is that a lot of people have allergies to dairy that they don't know about, that they don't physically present. Okay. But in your weight loss journey, it could impact that. So the easiest thing I tell people, I ask them, how much cheese are you eating? And they'll be like, oh, I have it for breakfast, for lunch, and dinner, and maybe I have it for a snack. I'm like, okay, I said, do yourself a favor, because you've had a 2-week stall. Stop the dairy for at least 3 days and just see, because it's about experimenting at the end of the day. We're all individually different. Yep. But 90% of the time, people will come back and say, hey, that cutting out dairy helped. And maybe I just have it with 1 meal, not all 3 meals. Good to know. I'm not saying take it completely out. You don't have to. But reducing it really helps a lot. Awesome. The other one is, it's funny. This is a keto diet. This is a high-fat diet. Meanwhile, people are not eating enough fat. Okay. And that one boggles my mind. But it is another big one. So a lot of people end up not eating enough fat, which means they're not getting into deep enough ketosis or being keto adapted, and they're just not losing weight. So that's why at the beginning you lose a lot and it might taper off. Because a lot of time, if you look back at how you're eating at the beginning to how you're eating 3 weeks later, I bet you it's different. I bet you a few things have snuck in there. I bet you you've loosened the diet a little bit. So go back to what worked. right? So it's sometimes just, doing a check on yourself and what you're doing.
I love that.
Another one would be, like that follows into monitoring food intake, but another one is exogenous ketones. So this is getting growing more and more awareness of drinking your ketones.
Yep.
And it's helped a lot of my clients break through keto stalls or help in adapting a keto diet. So the products like Keto-OS, for example, I use it and I recommend it to a lot of my clients as well. Right there. It helps because what it's going to do, it's going to help those early adopters into keto diet, allow them to not have the carb cravings because it helps with that.
Right.
Also helps them gives them the energy replacement. So you typically don't get the keto flu if you're using Keto-OS or exogenous ketone. So it really helps a lot, coupled with your keto diet or your low carb diet.
Awesome.
And the last one I would say is just not eating enough food. People restrict their calories too much. This is not a caloric restrictive diet because, like a carb diet, you have to restrict the calories because you're in and out of fat burning mode.
Right.
When you're in ketosis and you're in a ketogenic diet, you're always in fat burning mode. So it's much different. You'll be in a huge caloric deficit, which you don't want to be that much into a negative balance. So my whole thing is that people try to eat the old way, but meanwhile trying to follow a ketogenic diet. Bump up the food intake a little bit, and you'll be surprised that the fat will start coming off.
I love that. And what's fun is so many people are stuck in that. I'm so sorry people hear back, and I don't know why, but we're still trying this. So a lot of people want, they come from eating fat-free, so this whole eating fat is still new to them. So why don't, really quick before we go to the next question, give people some ideas of some good fats to eat. Like, what are some good fats in your diet? Okay, so some good fats are obviously avocados, avocado oil. I just actually yesterday fried up, I saw a video on YouTube about this guy that deep fried a roast. So I tried it yesterday. Use peanut oil when you're deep frying, not vegetable oil or anything else. Yep. Right. I also use, what else do I use? So grass-fed butter. Yeah. Great. Like grass-fed butter, if you haven't tried it, it tastes like how butter's supposed to taste. Okay. You know how when you popcorn that butter tastes? That's what that butter tastes like. So go buy it and try it. So I use grass-fed butter all the time. I love it. What else do I use? Bacon. Bacon's great too. So I have bacon every day. I've had bacon every day for the last 7 years in my breakfast, and I love it. It's fantastic. There is a lot of great fat sources out there. You just get ghee. It's another great fat source. So fat sources are not too short in demand. Right. We do nuts if people can handle nuts like macadamia nuts and things. People overdo nuts, which I guess you would say the same thing. Do you see that? But I think it's because problem with people who eat nuts, problem is they'll put the bag beside them on the desk. Right. And you'll be munching it. End of the day, you finish the whole bag, and that's like way too much nuts and way too much calories too. Right. So I always tell people nuts are a great source. Yeah, nuts are a great source. So you're right. Right. And then for people that can handle dairy, that are not going through a stall, like heavy whipping cream and things like that, and their coffee is good, right? Yeah, it's awesome. Okay, let's talk about electrolytes because I get this all the time. So can you walk people through why they may need to add electrolytes and what those might look like, water intake? Because when your body's in ketosis, it's flushing them out, correct? Yeah. Yeah. So when you're in ketosis, like you mentioned, you're peeing a lot. Let's just be honest. Okay, you're going to the bathroom a lot and you're peeing, and what happens is you lose a lot of electrolytes as that process happens. It's just natural in your body. So I always tell people supplement with a multivitamin. Okay. It's great. Just get it generic. You can get any brand, doesn't matter. Just take a multivitamin, a good quality one actually. But potassium magnesium supplement, separate supplement, not the one that's included in a multivitamin. Oh. Take that, and I add it on top of my multivitamin. Just because as you're peeing out so much, electrolytes will help if you can. Some people get cramping, right? It'll help with that. Also digestive issues, it helps with that. So it just gives you good balance of nutrition. Yep. But outside of that, there's no other real supplements that I take. Okay. I take branched-chain amino acids as well. It's good for guys that are lifting heavy or anybody that's working out in the gym actually. Yep. Helps you retain muscle and recover quicker. So I have that. That's actually what's in here right now, in this here. You lift really heavy. What's that? You lift really heavy. Yeah, you don't have to take it, but for those guys and girls out there that want that take muscles like me, then they would.
Yeah, you got big guns, I know.
Okay, so that's funny. So last night I was drinking something called Calm. Have you ever used that one before?
No, but some of my clients drink it.
Okay. Somebody had questioned about it, and I was like, well, I was told it was good, so I said, I'm going to ask the keto coach.
Yeah, no, I haven't personally experienced Calm yet.
Well, I need to have them because I'm the one that gets cramps in the middle of the night, and I'll wake up screaming because my legs hurt. So I have to make sure that I take some electrolytes and water, because you will know if you need some, correct?
Yeah, you will. If you start cramping, then it's typical that you're low in potassium and magnesium. It usually solves it.
Right. Okay, let's talk about tracking your ketones, because I get this all the time. We're going to talk about this at the end because I think this is super powerful, because this is actually how Raj and I met, and I'm going to have him tell you his story, because he didn't like me in the very beginning, I don't think.
I didn't.
But let's talk about tracking, because people will say, can I use the pee strips, which I've always told they're not completely accurate. Then there's the blood meters and different things. So what is your thoughts on tracking your ketones?
Yeah, so one thing about the pee strips, yeah, they're not accurate. And I think one thing we should probably talk about why they're not accurate. And the main reason is because you're testing the concentration of ketones that you're peeing out.
Yep.
But like any healthy diet, you should be drinking lots of water. So what that means is you're actually diluting the reading that's coming out. So people that are killing it and crushing it on their keto diet, they're taking exogenous ketone, but then they're peeing on that strip and seeing a weak number, they get disappointed. But you're getting disappointed at the wrong reason. It's just a diluted reading. And on top of that, that's actually the wrong ketone. That's not the wrong ketone that's in your blood.
Yeah.
So I recommend you get a glucometer. So Precision Extra is the brand I use, but there's many brands out there. Mm-hmm. And the glucometer will test. It's like what diabetics use. They'll like all pharmacies. And what it can do is it can measure both glucose and ketone. They're separate strips typically.
Okay.
And I use that, and so do my clients. But I tell people, the strips are pricey, so just do it once a week, and do it in the morning after you wake up. You do your bathroom duties, whatever. You weigh yourself only once a week as well, and at the same time, do your ketone reading.
Okay.
Don't weigh yourself every day. So definitely do that once a week, and it'll give you a good measure of where you're going. Some people at the beginning will do twice a week, but it does get costly. So once a week is fine. And doing the blood reading will give you 100% accuracy. Nothing dilutes that reading, and it's on point.
Awesome. So you brought up a good point. You talked about, I totally lost my train of thought. What did you just say? I'll come back to me.
Talking about
I wanted to talk about it. But, I know, the scale. So you talked about weighing yourself once a week, because I have women that weigh themselves every single day. And I say ketones are different, like a diet, right? So like you're going to pay attention to inches lost and reps in the gym and different ways to measure how your body's getting rid of fat, correct?
Yeah, totally true. And it doesn't even have to be about a ketogenic diet or ketosis. It's any diet.
Okay.
You never want to weigh yourself every day because there's so many factors. Higher salt intake, you might be taking some water. Your weight's going to go up. Women, menstrual cycle, that's going to change. So you're causing yourself extra stress, and stress is one of the biggest reasons people stop losing weight. Cortisol starts raising up. So don't stress yourself out. Once a week, maybe twice a week if you want to live on the edge. But other than that, I would do it once a week and just keep your sanity and always push hard.
I love it. Okay, Raj, is there any other things you feel like, or what are other frequently asked questions that you can think about that somebody might want to know before you tell them your story of how we met?
So people ask me about, how the biggest one I get sometimes, I get a lot of popular questions, but one of them was about cholesterol and heart attacks and those kind of severe things.
Crazy
and I tell people, you can read this online, different studies. I have a couple of studies on my site as well from third parties. But the whole cholesterol and clogged arteries issues comes from high fat and high carbs, right? It's the sugar and fat. It's the carbs and fat combination, not singularly only high fat, right? So people are getting, that's the biggest difference. And though that has to be noted, that you won't get, it's not going to increase fatty liver issue. You're not going to get clogged arteries. Keep the fat, it's not the fat causing the problem. It's the carbs and sugar causing the problem. Yeah. But when coupled with fat, it's an issue. I agree. Yeah. But a ketogenic diet is low in carbs and fat, sugar, so it's not an issue.
Great book. So we're going to do something fun for Cyber Monday. You've got something that you're going to do as far as your website goes, and a dietary plan that you help people, right?
Yep.
Do you want to
talk about right now?
what that looks like? And then I want you to share your story.
Yeah, okay, so everybody that's on this Zoom live, sorry, and for the rest of the week, actually, I'm going to leave it up. I have a special for all the KetoMOM followers.
Yes.
Is you can get your own ketogenic diet plan from me, and it's personalized to your weight from my site, and it's going to be 40% off. So go to the site, myketocoach.com, use the coupon code KetoMOM, all one word, lowercase, and use that in the shopping cart, and you'll get 40% off the diet plan, and that also includes 2 weeks of coaching from me over email. So if you have any questions, any support needs, shoot me an email. I reply back very quickly.
Oh, I love that.
So that's the bonus to everybody on here.
So what's fun is I always get asked, how do I eat? How do I eat? And I'll share what I eat, but I don't have a dietary plan or something specific for people. So this is a really great deal to have Raj help you because he's the expert. I'm still learning, and I've learned a ton in the last 2.5 years to where I can help you. And all those questions that he has said, I know a majority of it because I've learned from you. But it's fun because some people want to know exactly what to eat. So they just repeat one more time. So they go to theketocoach.com, correct? Or Keto Coach?
Yeah, myketocoach.com. I'll drop the link in the comments.
Perfect.
Myketocoach.com. You can see personalized diet plan and just go there. KetoMOM is the discount coupon code to use. It will be available all week. I'm only going to keep a certain number available, so just as soon as it says there's no more left, then there's no more left. But go get it, and then let's do this.
That's awesome. Okay, let's chat about one more thing, and then we'll let people go, and I'll honor your time. Thank you for doing this with me. But so when I first started this journey, I was Googling, like most people do, everything you can about ketones, ketosis, low carb, and I found my keto coach, and I was like, who is this guy? I'm gonna ask him about exogenous ketones. I'm gonna ask him about what he knows. And do you want to share a little bit of just kind of your what you thought of me and the product? And then we're gonna talk about this at the very end.
Yeah, that was interesting. That was almost 2 years ago. 2 years ago. But yeah, Stephanie reached out to me about this product, and I was such a disbeliever. A month and a half, she messaged me like every week, sometimes twice a day, about this product, saying, you got to try this product, it's amazing. And I kept replying back with resistance. She even said, I'll send you free product to try. Right. Because she felt that if I tried it, I could help a ton of people because of who I work with.
Well, and
I said, okay, I'm going to try it.
I actually just wanted you to try it.
What's that?
I actually just wanted you to tell me what you thought too. Like I really honestly wanted your feedback because you've been in this space for so long that I thought, I want to know what he thinks.
Yeah. And with that, even I'm there, okay, I'm gonna try it. But I said I was gonna try it because I was gonna debunk this whole thing because ketosis can only be done through diet, not through a supplement. You can't drink yourself into ketosis. So I got my product and I'm there, I'm gonna do a Facebook Live didn't exist then. I did a live video feed off YouTube. And what I did was I did a live video, I drank it. I did my ketones before, I drank it. And then an hour later, time lapse, I took my blood with a glucometer, and I was astonished. So you can actually hear my disbelief in the video because I thought I was going to be the guy who debunks the company, but really I was super shocked. Like I know my ketone reading is usually around 2.2, 2.3 on the average. It hit 5.6 that day, highest ever, and I've been doing this at that time 5, 6 years at that time, and I was blown away. I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't. So then the very next day, I messaged Steph right away. And the very next day I signed up. I said, you know what? I need to share this product with as many people as I can because this thing is real. And then I started sharing it too, just like Steph. So
what's fun is I think that you get this well. Do you ever come across people that can't get into ketosis nutritionally at all?
I do. But the main reason is because they don't push through the diet enough.
Right.
And they falter too often, they cheat too often, right? And I would say that would be the reason.
Yep.
And the product of Keto-OS really helps people in that type of situation, which is many, right?
Right.
Because some people just can't follow anything if sometimes they find it too strict. I don't know.
Right.
But it does help.
Or I think sometimes people don't want to take the effort to track it. They want to take the effort to weigh their food, all of that stuff. They don't want to test their blood. it's a lot of work. I mean, I watched my husband do it. Yeah. It's crazy. So I started with the product. So, I mean, that's the question I get all the time is people don't want to do the strict diet, but they want the power of ketones. And so I just wanted to, at the end, just talk about this real quick because it is powerful. Like Raj helps people with the product, but he also has seen the science and the research and has heard all of the experts talk about this because not all ketones are created equal. Correct, Raj?
That's true. You know, I tried a different product. I won't mention the name, but which came out almost the same time, and it didn't do anything. And that's why I was a very big disbeliever in this product when you approached me about this, because I'm like, it doesn't work, but it does.
I remember messaging him and I was like, if he could just try it. And that's what I tell people. So that's what I'm going to talk about is just trying it. So the product, ketones are phenomenal. Like Raj says, like ketones are fuel for your brain. And the product helps with the energy, the focus, the cravings, the appetite, all of that stuff. And so for today too, we're going to do something called a 5-day experience. So if you want to try for 5, I just want you to post a 5 below. And you're going to get a variety of flavors to try without committing a month to any just one. So if you want to try the 5-day experience, post a 5 below. I'll send you some information later on that and what that looks like. But I love this for so many reasons because Raj, I probably would not have tried this super strict diet. I'd be one of those ladies that you'd be like, hey, Stephanie, like, did you eat pizza the other day? I'd be like, yeah, but it was only once a week. And so I would be that lady that you'd be like, how much cheese are you eating? Every day? And so, but this has changed my life as far as like the energy and the focus. Like I've never felt better. And you've already been in ketosis, so you already feel great. But do you feel like, do you drink this every day?
I do. I drink it every day. So I train in the morning on an empty stomach. So I'll take that 30 minutes before my training. And that's what I advise people to also take it with. Yep. 30 minutes before training or 30 minutes before breakfast. Yep. Super fantastic. And it powers my workout for sure. And I'll have a second one mid-afternoon, or I'll have a keto cream in my Tim Hortons coffee because I'm from Canada. Yep. And that's what we drink here. But, and I love it. So I mix it up.
And that's a good point. So a lot of people ask how many to drink. A lot of people that I know are drinking 1 a day and they're focusing on their food. If you're training like Raj in the gym, or now me, because I've been going to the gym at 5 a.m. for the last year, I take one before the gym at 5 in the morning and then I take another run or one or two. But a lot of people, honestly, they jump on in and they just do 1 a day. And they try it, they love it. It helps them through a good majority of the day. It doesn't give you the ketones for 24 hours. So I tell people, if you let Raj help you with your diet, or me, and if you do the best that you can. So a lot of people just want to do low carb, then this will last longer. If you kind of eat the average Western diet, then it's going to last a shorter amount of time because your body can be a dual fuel system. So as far as I tell people, Raj, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, like your body can run off of glucose and ketones when you're on the product. But if you were doing the strict ketogenic diet like you do, like you did for a long time, if you were to eat anything outside of your strict macros, your body stops producing ketones. Is that correct?
It is. Like as soon as you can like eat a certain amount of carbs or sugar, it will stop the ketone production and optimally over to using the glucose. But when that gets depleted, you go back into ketosis again.
Yeah. So it's a cycle. So I love this because it helps. Yeah. I kind of tell people it's like my flotation device. It gets your head above the water, helps you to go, because a lot of people feel like they're drowning in like overwhelmingness. Because you said in the beginning, people feel like it's hard, right? Like this doesn't have to be hard. You just have to be committed, I feel like. So this gets your head above the water. And then we're going to teach you how to eat better. So a lot of women don't want to do the strict diet, but they want to do low carb, and that's fine. The product gives you those ketones, or you can go as strict as you want. And like Raj says, he's got a great deal for you. If you want to take advantage of his keto diet plans or his food or meal plans, right? Then you can do that.
You know, one thing I want to say before we end this is that a lot of people, like I mentioned at the beginning, actually overcomplicate it.
Yep.
Like your diet and what you're doing as a lifestyle in the terms of eating should not handcuff you in what you do daily. Should not stress to bulk cook your food, undo all those things. Like we do. Stress, gotta eliminate stress. So even in my diet plan, I make it super simple to follow keto diet. Just like Prove It, develop Keto-OS. They make it super simple to consume ketones and get into ketosis. Keep simplicity in your life to have success in your diet and everything else. Yeah. People stress out too much on the complication of things, and then you just get derailed, and then it just goes all over the place.
Right.
So just stay focused, keep it simple.
Right. And I'm sure you see this because I've already gotten it the last 2.5 years where people will go, I tried it for 5 months. I had great success. And then all of a sudden I fell off and I gained 60 more pounds. Can you help me again? It's like a vicious cycle, like with anything. And so I love this because it gives people, like, if you were to go to a birthday party or say you go have a drink with friends or grab a cupcake that, say, a Saturday night or a Friday night party, the next day you can take the product, get back into ketosis, and it helps you go, okay, I'm back. Let's keep going. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Life will happen. You know, people, you will be at that birthday party. You will have a piece of cake. It's okay. The world's not going to end. But get back on track. Get back to what you're doing. And keep crushing your goals. And it's super simple. I
love it. Okay, so some people asked your link. Did you put your link below about your ebook or about where for them to find the recipes? And he does customize it. Somebody asked if there's customized.
Yeah. Yeah, so I put a link in there in the comments already. I'll put another one at the end of the call.
Awesome. So we'll put some more links below. Again, if you want to try a 5-day experience, post a 5 below. I'll send that information out. Raj will get with you if he's on this side of me. If you want more information about the way of eating. And Raj, I just want to thank you so much. We'll have to do more of this. I hope the video is clear, but we'll have to see when we're done. So hopefully it all worked out, but we'll figure it out. And we'll have to do more of Q&A with you because I think you're super knowledgeable. So I thank you so much for your time.
No, this has been amazing. Thank you, everyone. And I'll chat to you guys after.
Awesome. Okay. Is there anything else you want to say or we're all good? I think we covered most questions.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Maybe what we'll do is if you have any more questions, post them below and I can always have Raj on again next week sometime or we'll just answer your questions as they come in. So have a great day. Thank you again, Raj, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.
All right. Have a good day, everybody. See ya.